morning, everybody. Welcome on board. It's going to be a really short flight here today, but we're doing something today that it's shocking to me, but so many people want to see. You know, what happens to a float plane when winter hits?
Hey, I'm Brett. Flying in Alaska has always been my dream, and now it's my reality. Hey! With my aircraft, I get to explore some of the most remote and wild places out here. Hey! Alaska's my playground, and I'm bringing you along for the ride. So hop in and let me show you around. This is Adventure Alaska.
This is kind of a sad moment for me. This is going to be the last flight of the old float pacer before we actually pull it out and put it on its trailer.
Paper planes fly me to outer space.
So I'm going to actually take off here in a minute out of Lake Hood. I'm going to do one lap in the pattern. I'm going to do a really long landing. I'm going to keep it on step, and I'm basically going to end up at a launch ramp where Josh is driving my car, and I've got a trailer hitch on there. I've got a trailer for this. Now this is a bit early for me, but I leave in 3 days for my super long journey south to the lower 48. So I do need to get this done relatively quickly. So I am going to take off here in just a second. I'm all warmed up, and I'm going to let Tower know what we're doing, and we'll get going. And Lake Hood Tower, Float Pacer, 7016 Bravo. We're going to change our plans. Instead of a north, we just want to stay in the pattern for one, and we're going to do a long landing all the way out to the north ramp.
7016 Bravo, roger, advisory west.
Direct 2 overpass, 2 or 6.
All right, there's our first rise, coming into our second rise. There's the second rise, easing up on the yoke. And we're going to hold this pitch attitude until we gain our speed. We are on step right now. We're going to hold it on step. And just let it fly off the water. Just like that. International, a couple of 7.4s out there.
Paper planes were always made for you. I'll fly to space just to get to you. I just wanted to let you know.
All right, so as I land, I'm going to see if he'll give me north. And Tower, is there any chance for 16 Bravo we can come around and just do a north, like a northeast or northwest?
7016 Bravo 8 from, you want the northwest now?
Yeah, I'll take the northwest. We just got a little north wind there. That'll help me.
7016 Bravo, roger, northwest, clear land.
Northwest, clear land, 16 Bravo. All right, so we're going to change the plans again. Normally I do a west. I'm going to come in and I'm going to set up for northwest. I haven't done a northwest at Lake Hood in over a year. I'm going to be honest with you, when I was controller here, I hated the northwest. It's a very hard configuration to work because you've got Anchorage International right here, and so we come in right along International Drive, which is right on the boundary of the two airspaces. So I'm basically right on the boundary of this Charlie right here. And so you have to be real careful as you make this turn that you don't encroach
Clear land,
on
32,
International.
206 Papa Yankee.
But we're all set up to go here. We're going to kind of do a little northwest splashdown and be done for the day. Alrighty, power is set. A little bit of a quartering headwind. Beautiful though. I'll take that all day long. for my last landing for the season. And just like that, we're on the water. All right, I got the north pothole in the sight. I got the north ramp in sight. So I'm kind of keeping a little more power in than I usually do, because the one downside to Pacers is they are really short coupled. And as such, they don't turn very well when you've got even just a little bit of a wind coming opposite direction. And I have a quarter-inch headwind, so basically I'm putting as much left rudder in as I can, but it really isn't doing as much as it should. And that's something you just kind of get used to when you fly this airplane. A lot of guys will actually put a ventral fin on the bottom part of the rudder assembly. What do you guys think? Should I buy a Grumman amphib? I'm asking you guys that because I know that if I had Josh in this airplane with me right now, he would find a way to talk me out of it. As a mechanic, he is trying to talk me out of a lot of the things that I buy. but I think a twin Grumman he might really talk me out of. All right, I'm gonna drop you guys here.
That's going above and beyond the Call of Duty right there. Just backing this in and everything. I thought you were gonna make me do. Oh, you want me in the water, don't you? Oh, you have your hip waders? No, of course. You're like you're 2 steps ahead of me, man. I think we can do it without getting wet. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That's good. Yeah. Park is on the end of the stick. All right, you think one of us is gonna get wet?
You're never lost among the crowd with me. Never lost among the crowd with me. Everywhere you go, I'll be. Anywhere you go, I'll see. You're never lost among the crowd with me.
Alrighty, well, Phil is out of the water. If you've wanted to see what floats look like, this is what floats look like when they're out of the water. So we have our water rudders here, one on each side. And these are our rigging that go between, and they actually hook up onto the rudder itself. And so that is what controls the water rudders. They're actually rigged to the main rudder. So my pedals in the plane actually control those. And then this cable right here, that goes up to that T, and it comes back here into the water rudder itself. And that's what you raise and lower your water rudders with. So I like pulling these out. When I pull a plane out of the water for the first time, I like taking a look at how everything looks to see if we have any damage. These floats are really, really tight, so they don't leak water. But you can see the skegs down there. Everything's looking real good. So we had another great season on these floats. And I think it's time to go get Phil put away. And so he's actually gonna come off these floats this winter and get put on skis, because the Hawk Wagon is gonna be in the lower 48, which is what I was gonna have as my ski plane for this year. But Phil is already rigged for skis, so we're just gonna put him pretty much straight onto skis. All right, let's go get this thing to its tie down before we get it off the floats for the year. That's probably gonna happen while I'm gone.
You're never lost among the crowd with me. Never lost among the crowd with me.
So the reason that I'm riding out here is because we have to go through a gate ahead, and I've got to be on the radio to make that happen. So I'm gonna ride out here on the float until we go through the gate, and I'm basically making sure we're not hitting anything as we drive. I think those bearings need to be greased. All right, here we go. I'm gonna have to do my thing. I gotta do my one job here in just a second. All right, so we clicked the button 5 times, and the gate is opening in front of us. So we're gonna drive through the gate. And Lake Hood is totally uncontrolled as far as taxi is concerned. So we don't have to talk to anybody while we're doing this taxiing, which is really nice. All right, so we're pulling into Echo parking, and we've got a tie down here that I will likely leave Phil in for a little bit. It's actually gonna end up going right there to Acme Cub. Those are the guys that always take really, really good care of me as far as getting the plane on and off floats. And, you know, whenever I have those maintenance issues that I need help with that, you know, Josh can't handle, or that I can't handle, we go to Acme Cub. Steve and the guys have always taken really, really good care of us. And if you're ever looking for float training up here in Alaska, Steve and his crew are the absolute best of the best, and I cannot recommend them enough.
Well, just like that, float season is over for 2024. I would be lying if I said that I felt that I got enough float flying in for the season. Last year, I did about 150 hours on Phil. This year, it was closer to 100 hours. That said, there were some spots that I really wanted to get to. We didn't really have the weather for it this year. Maybe we will have the weather next summer. While I'm gone on my trip, Steve and the guys over at Acme Cub are going to be pulling Phil off of the floats and putting him on the skis. There's tons of ski flying to do this year. I can't wait to take you guys along on that. But for right now, I'm turning my attention to this trip that I've got coming up. I leave in 3 days, and I'm going to be honest with you. It's making me a little bit nervous. And what's making me nervous is that up until this morning, weather was looking awesome. Right now, however, there is a storm system that is threatening this trip. Now, it's not gonna say that this trip isn't gonna happen, but it is gonna possibly throw a couple delays into this trip along the way. Usually it takes me about 2 to 3 days to get through Canada. This time around though, if this weather system really does move in, it is gonna put some delays in there. But that's just general aviation. If you wanna get there quickly, fly commercial. If you wanna get there eventually, fly general aviation. And I know it's gonna happen, it's all part of the journey, but that's why we fly. We fly for the adventure. I can't wait to take you guys on that adventure. Like I said, that will all kick off right here on this channel on November 22nd. And we will go from our normal format of every other Friday to every Friday until I actually get the plane into Walla Walla for its maintenance. I can't wait to bring you guys on that journey. I can't wait to show you all that I have planned. We'll see you here on the 22nd. Stay safe, fly safe. We'll see you soon.